So my name is Allyson Adeney. I've made the work this year called Suspension. It sits up above the walkway in the gardens here today. The work's been a long time in the making. It's actually made from a work that I made about 10 years ago, and I kept all the pieces so that I could reimagine them in some other way. It is essentially strings of bunting which are made into like a suspension bridge, but a tunnel that you walk through. The material is recycled umbrellas, black umbrellas. We often see black umbrellas all lying around the street. So I've collected those up over time and pulled them apart, healed them with stitching, so with a running healing stitch, and then reassembled them into bunting. I really, really love showing work outside because you get less of the people who would, say, make time to go to a gallery. But they will walk through the gardens, and that means they come across artworks almost as a surprise when they're not expecting to see them. And I think that freeness of mind, they haven't got their art hat on, so they're experiencing the works just for the feeling that they give or for the sound that they offer. And that's an exciting space for me. So one of the great things about working in the outside environment is that the work takes on the light of that outside environment. It captures when it's a little cloudy, and you might see the work in a different way to when it's a fully sunny day. You might even see a different aspect of the work because you can't look towards something because the sun's there. So fantastic once the work is up and on show. A little bit of a challenge as we're putting the work together, as you might understand as you see the work. It's a total privilege to work with a bunch of artists who care about what they make and who are exploring new ideas. It's also does great things for each other's work to have different artworks seen alongside artists who work in very, very different mediums and with quite different thoughts and ideas. I named the work Suspension initially because it looked like a suspension bridge as it came out of my head. But also it is a liminal space of suspension. So as you walk into the space, you're almost taken into a new place. You enter from the gardens, you exit into the gardens, but my hope is that when you're in that space, you are almost in a different place that maybe you've never been before. It suspends and slows you down. There's a couple of viewing platforms where you can look out into the gardens, perhaps in a way you haven't seen the gardens before. Out into the gardens or out into the bushland behind. I'm exploring that idea of when we live life, and today's today and tomorrow's tomorrow, the past is gone, but we're always in that suspension and place where everything affects everything else. It's rarely that you just get to experience one thing at a time. So I'm hoping that in this piece, which is quite architectural, you can still have some quiet moments while looking at the embroidery, and you're held in suspension, essentially.